energy going into this matchup, man, because this is a very important matchup for both teams. If you are C9, you should have got 105. You need to get to 130 to get yourself back into the mix. If you're Boston, you're at 130 in that mix already, and you could potentially pull away, especially with Miami losing their most previous match to take that little bit of a lead. But this is such an important matchup. You got the best hard points you possibly can for Cloud9 with their best search and destroy. The same thing could be said for Boston as well on the later half of the series, but the opening Skyline is going to be massive on both ends because Boston recently, like the Des touched on it, they've been putting a lot of reps in on it.
Yeah, well, you want a good-looking Boston going into the major as well, because hey, both these teams can turn up on land, and it's going to be the good reps that get you there, folks. All right, here we go. Map number 1, C9. Let's see some goods. Okay. Okay.
Oh, all right.
Okay. Okay,
Perfect
that's
start.
Boston. The Mandem have got the time.
Yeah, that's perfect start there if you are Boston. You get every single kill in the feed, shut down that first wave, and now Cloud9 forced to try to break their way on in. But this attempt is so much better when Kremp opens up with a double. So you're able to instantly flip those. Spawn still 30 seconds to fight for. Awakening the only one on this side of the map. Cloud9 have been able to flip it, but they're still not getting a lot of time.
They flipped for a Mo, but a nice two-piece from Snoopy. A little bit of blessings from the COD gods there in the hipfire. Still keeping him alive. Mac, the next victim there. The young Snoopersaurus as he is making C9 go extinct.
And this is what Boston have been able to show a lot of improvements on Skyline is their rotation win percentage. So far, starting off on the right foot. They're getting kills off the roto. They're early set up for P2. And now, you know, all the pressure from Cloud9 is going to come through the front. They do find an opening kill. They're split on their attempt here. So you need to win some one-on-one gunfights. You need to outnumber someone.
We're trying through down low, but Awakening someone walking away with another big kill. The fade away from Demon Joe. He's a man of a million nicknames, and another 3 dead for C9. Boston firmly in control so far,
Yeah, usually with C9 find a lot of success on Skyline, it's only through their breaking. They're 10th in rotation, 11th in hold, but #1 in break percentage so far throughout the entire season. We even saw it a little bit last week in their matchup, where Max just found so many opportunities to sneak on by, but they really couldn't get to any time. But at least you're still contesting for this final 20 seconds. Kremp is able to find a double, but still, Boston had players on this side of the map.
Yeah, man, it's crazy individual wins. Rotation's done. Cammy's going to be the only man in kitchen, but he's got himself a sweet little dirty corner, which is going to lead to a kill.
Oh,
another 3 dead. C9. They can't get anything going on Skyline so far as Boston. They had Hardpoint for a second there, but a nice one out of Attach. And now we're starting to see this. Here we go. A couple of 1v1 wins. The trades are there. Attach brought down in the end. Over to Kremp. Last man up for C9. Down and out. What a battle this is. Sib gets a couple in the feed. If he can keep this going. Oh, what do you know, folks? We could be looking at a break. C9 are in.
Yeah, that's 3 dead, and they're still not in the HP. It's because you're thinking there's so many players from Boston that we have to account for, and these guys are consistently just in our grill. We have not had an opportunity to fully set up at one of these hard points, but now with a couple kills going their way, you should be able to hold it. Thankfully, you got Mac there in the right spot. Opens up a double. You're still holding on to time here.
Too hot on the ting. Mac gets himself into time for a second long, but a lot to watch and not a lot of players to help him do it. But Mac, he gets himself one, brought down again. But hey, look, 80 plus to the 28 now of C9. You've got yourself over towards Noob for a second longer. Sib needed a little bit more. Teammates there on the other side of the map making their way forward. Breach again, Jay. Another rotation win.
Yeah, but you already are contesting on the back line if you are C9. You have pressure through top plat, and all the kills through the back end are going your way. So now Snoopy, the last man standing, just has to play his life. He is going to get swarmed, so the clean break is perfect there from C9 to soak up a lot of time here at the Money Hill.
This is what you're talking about, man. This is where they get their time, and that is Max starting to get things
there you go.
4 in a row. Only man left alive now, Cammy. Kremp's got him dead. That is it. C9, welcome back to map 1.
And Max already creating an extra layer. Aggressive as hell through the top hallway on 5 in a row. You get a little bit of assistance on Kremp watching over you, and you were consistently forcing Boston to work their way through kitchen. But Mr. Purge pops a double. The close spawns are still going to be in. He knows he can't individually try to break this. And Cloud9, even with that play happening, they're still holding.
He's trying. Woo. Snoop wins another pair. Attach on time. Taken care of. Look at the scoreline though, folks. This Skyline has turned things around in a big way. C9 going into our second set way more competitive than it started. They've got an opportunity to grab time as well, but once again it's Boston finding errant kills all across the map. Good stuff there at Kremp, but yeah, a crazy minimap for the time being. We should see that left right hand side spawns now for both teams, and let's get some time on P1. Purge the man in here.
And the routes were just way too good there from Boston. Like, if you're C9, you were able to find, you know, your teammates falling at the old HP, cut your losses. Think about that rotation over towards New, but Boston hit a couple routes, instantly able to flip those spawns back on your head, and now you're forced to try to break over through Cobble. Effective on the trade, but all this time has not been contested so far.
Oh, wait, dude. Yeah, no contest whatsoever. At moments like that, that's the reason why. Demon Joseph at 15 and 12. Cammy's having a 12 and 13 with a ton of hill time to his name, but Purge, he's having a map. Are we going to start giving him insane nicknames as well? The Boston boys, they've got a couple. Come on, Snoop. There it is. Another to his name. C9 with a late break, and C9 down and out going on the rotation, Jay.
Yeah, they're going to be late again over towards P2. So this time they need to set up a break a lot quicker, and Purge creating an extra layer. Already shuts down their initial push. You can already see it. 45 seconds last go around went in favor of the breach. If you give up all that time again, you're most likely going to lose this match, so you need a break.
Yeah, we got to get a break soon, folks. Boston set up the line. Awakening is the wall. No one can get through it. Purge picks up the last piece now, buying some space. A lot of intel gained. No kills, just space. 35 seconds to go here on P2. Boston breach absolutely kicking ass so far here in Skyline. Let's go for listening.
Nice to chip us.
Nice, 7.
One shot right now.
Guys dead.
Nice, you fucking shot, maybe?
No.
Yeah, go.
Touch on you guys.
Here.
Touch table. You want on me? Wood wall.
Nice, use one, not me, right?
Chance, guys. They got spawn. Yes. Which can we go? I can
Get off the side, boys.
Yeah, we're going piano.
I think you want top mid. Yeah. You want top mid. These guys top mid. One shot top mid. Crab's gonna be front back. Trust me. Yeah, he got me.
Hold on. Chill, challenge, one shot, absolute.
One shot left.
I'm
One shot. I'm waiting for you guys. I'm
one shot. Give me a sec, boys.
Yeah.
There's two there side, boys. One more deep.
Deep sit. One shot.
This week.
Boys. Stone.
Play this time.
Give me mid, bro. Give me mid. Two mid, bro. Two mid. Left.
One shot on bed. I guess close to the wall. One shot on bed. Nice.
I got your I got inner. He's not challenged.
One here, push up.
He's not challenged still.
One
inner. Your Mac on the table, boys.
One more there.
He's with press down.
Shoot piano right now. Run back out. I give you. They went mid or top wall.
I have stone. They can be back right in you. They can be back right in you. I'm holding your top stone. Okay.
One shot crosser.
Someone get in you. Someone look at back.
Back left, boys.
Two top. I got one more.
Yeah, back on left of me, boys. There.
Let's go. Push this up.
Get on top, guys.
Spawn P1. Alright, listen. 1P1, one wall.
I'm running a little bit. Follow me. Top absolute.
I heard you.
Legit bullet. Mac. There's two. I got stunned. There's two.
Start the game's nearly over, but man, a good listening, very calm, very clean. Okay, we got a break. Got a bit more time to talk. What do you think of the listening?
Oh, it was perfect, man, because you could just tell how easy the listening was with how the gameplay is. Boston are just not doing anything excessive. They are just lining up the kills, holding down their proper angles, finding the kills off the rotation, and Cloud9 consistently are just playing from the back foot. They're able to find a break again over towards the B4 to make this somewhat of a game, but Boston have been basically playing perfect all throughout the Skyline.
So far, so good. Not over yet. C9 with a nice bit of time here on P4. A decent break towards the middle of that one. Now we're looking back over towards P1. Third and final set, folks. Boston breach close to the finish line. Not quite there yet, though. Can C9 get themselves back into this? Got to get towards time. The P1s have not been kind to them. And once again, another rotation. Another clean 3, nearly 4. Down again for C9.
Yeah, what else can Matt get done on this side? Steve, it's all the way across the map. He's still trying to finesse. They know that he is nearby, but with that double, at least allows his teammates to get on towards the hard point. I just don't know if you're going to be able to read this route out of Snoop, because here comes the pin from top plat. He finds the first, draws the attention, and now his teammates can still contest through the middle of the map.
For that contest, Boston, you're in. Purge doing it alone. 32 and 19. Can't get another one out of there. So open time for now. 30 seconds to go. And side of the map. All good for C9. You are finally set up, lads, to stay alive here. And now, can they push this forward? A potential break down the bottom side of the map. Jay from Boston looking for time, looking for spawns as well. The battle continues.
Yeah, the battle definitely continues. But you can already see on your mini-map, Cloud9 have a couple players who are spawning across the map. So you're going to not be fully set up off the rotation. But this is actually the first time you're going to be here early at the P2. The only thing, Boston only need 5 seconds.
Oh my god, good. Okay. Here comes the final hit. Mac taking routes. Time now in the hands of Boston. You got to get this going, Mac. It's all on you. And it was that moment you needed it. And it was a big ask. But Boston reach. Amandem absolutely rocking Skyline map number 1.
So the boys are taking care of their food, fam. Just easy work there. Out of Boston. Dominating on your rotations. Your holds are perfect. Usually what Cloud9 find a lot of success on is through their breaks, but you could just tell, like the P2s, they can barely get any time there. You're consistently growing that lead more and more. You're dominating the power spots off the spawns. And the entire time, I'm just trying to play catch up, always playing for the back foot. And on a map like Skyline, once you fall into that cycle, it's very difficult to get on out of it. Boston Breach come out swinging in map number 1, especially through the SMGs, man. Like if Purge is going to play like that, you're simply going to stand no chance. 28 non-traded kills, only needs 7 assists, almost 2 minutes in hill time as well. That's an MVP performance right there from that young man.
That is unreal. 19 on the objective as well. Hey, community, can we come together and find a great Purge nickname? Hit us up on the Bluebird app, or whatever the hell it's called these days. X. Hit us up on that. Let us know what you think we should be calling Purge as a community. Let's come together and create a great name for that superb star. All right, mate. Well, Jay, C9 got involved a little bit too late. We saw some signs of life. I think one of the biggest things I noticed was at the start of every rotation, they're going 3 down. I mean, they're getting picked apart by Boston every step of the way. What was going wrong in your eyes for the squad?
It's just they weren't finding the proper angles. Or Boston just had players in the proper spots, clutching up with the double kill in every one of those situations. That just instantly shuts down their first push. Like every time they were trying to break through P2, you send a couple players through kitchen, but everyone else is trying to pressure through top hallway. You lose 2 gunfights to 1 player. You're simply going to get outnumbered and never have an opportunity at a clean break. And that's just what Boston were able to do. Once they realize, okay, all 4 go down, let's create an extra layer. Let's make it more difficult for them to take some more space away. And just keeping their push stagnant gave them no chance in this map 1.
Yeah, it doesn't help that, of course, both submachine guns there for Boston looking great. I mean, Awakening looking like his MW19 out there. The way he was shooting, that awareness was on point. Everyone bringing the goods. Cammy looking solid as well. So Boston starting the day right with a very, very clean Skyline there. 136, all we could get out of C9. All we could squeeze out of those boys, and squeeze they were. Very, very tough run. The P3 was really when things came back towards the start. But we'll say goodbye to Skyline and we say hello to a 3-peat of Hacienda. Jay, you told me before the match started, you think the square up is going to be on these search and destroys. Is that still the case? Or are you feeling a 100%. Little deflated after that first hard point?
I think obviously a little bit deflated after that first hard point because C9 aren't shooting the way that they need to compete right now with Boston in the respawns. But the good thing for them is they have triple Hasi. Whenever you talk about Cloud9 so far in the season, when Hacienda was added, this is what they love to play. They have their best search and destroy coming up here in map number 2. They also have their best hard point in that map number 4, and a couple losses where they ran into Atlanta, where they ran into LAT, and those are within 15 to 20 points besides that LAT one. So that's their best HP. You just ran into some tough squads. You just need this search and destroy here because the way that Boston have been looking recently in their control, only playing basically Hacienda, they're going to be prepared for that map 3 as well.
Tough. We'll see how map 3 goes when we get to it. But we've got a nice bit of a stat screen for us coming up, folks, in a second. Who are some of the coldest players in the league? And arguably, I mean, it's Cammy. Let's face it, mate. 6 1v1s and the 1v2 plus. So that can be anywhere up to a 3. I don't think we've seen a full 1v4 from Cammy just yet, but he's got 9 clutches on the year. Tied there with Beans and Dashi. But again, it's the 1v1s, the man of the year so far, Jay.
Yeah, he's always usually the last man standing because you got players like Snoopy, you got players like Purge who are always trying to get into that early action. So Cammy being the safety net, when he has those opportunities, he has made the most of them. Going into Hacienda, I love the way that Boston like to play it. They love to take space early away. They love to dominate towards the top hallways, but the same thing could be said for Cloud9. It's just the way that they like to play is usually like the Kremp show. Like Kremp takes some space here. All right, what do you see? Then we'll work off of that. It's just if he gets caught, then their S&T starts to spiral a little bit.
Okay, well, Kremp, we gave him a very, very strong title of one of the best search and destroy players, or at least looking like one of the best search and destroy players in the world.
He is.
He still is. You're right. I'm trying to be the negative naysayer here because chances away getting another BBL done. And no, I'm joking, folks. He's not. Well, actually, maybe he is. You'll have to see when he gets out of the operating theater. But now, S&D, Hacienda. I can't stop. Snoop's got the bomb. Let's go.
You're always on full throttle, Ross, and I absolutely love it. So Continue into this map number 2 with Boston on the attack. Aggression through top secret. First blood in favor of Cammy. Double child by the SMGs. Instant 4v2.
3. Okay, all down to one man attach. The first of many potential clutches he will have to try to get. And he's got a good spot here, but bad timing. Over the top. Awakening riddles in with that PDW. And the vibe check for Boston right now is superb, man. They're having a great time.
Oh, yeah. You can see Purge smiling from cheek to cheek. He's like, I don't know why that round was so easy, but if Cammy's finding that first blood through the hallways and then we're sending the pressure through the top side of Secret, all the kills initially go their way and instantly make it into a 4v1. Just a super confident round to start off the game, a tone-setting round to start off the game. And if you're Cloud9, you got to be able to match that energy. You have to do it in this next round.
Speaking of cheek to cheek, Chance, big fan of the clutches. And so interesting to see on that leaderboard there. It was great to see, you know, obviously Cam at the top, but down at the bottom, a BZ. 1 1v1 win, 5 1v2 plus. I mean, that's ridiculous. Another round though, folks. Stuns and nades, lethals, everything being emptied out of towards the A side of the map, but not a lot of intel gain. So we go to B, we make as much noise as we can, we bang those pots and pans together, but then we get eaten over here. Awakening the only man up for Boston.
Yeah, I love no wasted time there out of C9. They get no info through the hallways. Nothing connects with the attacks over towards A. So let's just instantly put it down at the better site to hold down a rock setup. 4v4 retake on the horizon, and Purge is working on the bench.
Oh, great damage and a sim.
No.
But that is a win you are going to remember. Awakening now. It's a technical 1v3. And he's moving. And he's shooting. And the last man on the hunt attached to the 1v1.
20 seconds. Can he try to spot him? The timing might work on Wake's favor.
No way! Demon Joe! A 5 spree and the defuse. Boston breach. Absolutely break down C9.
And you could just tell Awakening shaking his head like, I don't know what they're doing. They're just giving me one-on-one gunfight after one-on-one gunfight. I thought that round was going to be doomed once Purge lost that one-on-one to sit through top hallway. But then Giga Wake comes alive. Gets that player on the tray because he's weak. The snap onto the second guy. But then the repositioning too strong. Like, Kremp has to win that one-on-one if you're going to chow that. Because your teammates are simply not in the play. But Awakening just gets lost and catches attached with his pants down. 5-0 start. Boston 2-0.
That's insane. Insane. I love the routes he was taking, but he was blessed with good positioning by his opponents as well. And we're going. Boston send it. Whoa, but they send it into trouble. Wrong part of town, boys. And now Awakening 1v4. 1v3. Ain't no way Demon Joe can do this again. Back-to-back rounds, Jay? Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I think if you're sitting at 6-0, you know that you're pretty close to a hellstorm. So you might just want to play for kills and potentially play to see if Cloud9 can give you a freebie before you fully commit on this clutch. But a technical 1v4. Bomb's going to be down on their side of hallway. And you know most likely they're in a position to watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no way. Yeah, there we go. Riddled up. ID's the bomb. I think you're right. Awakening should have played for the kills. They're not too far away from the Hellstorm at the very least. And yeah, no, it was a worthy attempt. Maybe he thought that they might be roaming, looking for him as opposed to covering the bomb. But he gets slightly wrong and he pays the iron price. C9 on the board.
Yeah, and that was one of those heat check rounds for Boston because they just did the same approach on their earlier offense. And they said, all right, they gave us this space again. Let's just push through their spawn again. But that time, everyone camping through top office. More players from C9 on that side. You're able to win every single gunfight without anyone falling. So, stabilize on the map. Secure your first round. Back to the attacking side you go where Kremp and his SMG duo are going to work through top secret again.
Dude, the secret is, there's nothing secret about it. They hit this so hard usually. A-bomb site covered in Boston players, and they're looking to push past this one through well. That's where it attaches. And he spots out Snoopy at the very least. There we go. On the cross as well. Doesn't see Purge yet, so that's an unknown quantity. That's comms. Now, 2 players over here. I got tags in, move over to B, and that's exactly where C9 are.
Yeah, they're just going to cut right through the middle of the map, and the bomb is going to get planted. And now every single player's on this side, so you're going to get overwhelmed if you're C9.
Here they come, right over the top. Oh, my word. You've put down the 2 players on the bomb site with relative ease. Now the immediate defuse. Oh, Kremp and attach. They're so far from home right now. Get going, boys. Trying to get them off the bomb. They don't get it done. The defuse complete, and the round is won by Boston.
Oh,
Breach.
man. That is beautiful, Ross. We're talking about initially shutting down their consistent A push. As long as they don't plan A, we stand a pretty good chance. But the fact that they shut down that play, you realize, okay, C9 again take top secret. They're most likely going to start thinking about that rotation. Just throwing all the shoulders on the backside of well, keeping attached in that position. You know that there's no way in hell you're going to read that we've already wrapped back to our teammates. So they're completely out of position to contest the bomb site. So once those kills go down and you win the trade fights, you instantly stick the defuse because no one's even close. Perfect game plan there from Boston to take a 2-round advantage.
3-1. A spicy Hacienda to get things going so far. A bit caliente as we continue our roam. We've still got the RC in play there for Awakening. I mean, it's a 50-50 gambit, whether it's going to cost or be of any use, but I'm down to find out. I'm down to clown, and Snoopy potentially on the plant. Wow, the timing is insane. He's been spotted.
Definitely been spotted, but Matt cannot do anything about it. Able to put down shots, but Snoopy gains the info and is able to get out. But this play is all on Purge on the pinch.
Oh, and Purge nearly pulls it all off. But again, good damage in. Awakening finds one player there as Mag with the nade. Cammy, do you check this corner? I don't think you do. Oh, you check it the long way around, mate. Oh my God, he's right there, mate. Sib, gifted a good one. Traded out immediately, all down to Krem. And that is a beamer from the bomb site. Boston, 4-1.
And C9 tried to make an adjustment there. It's like 2 rounds in a row where Boston have taking top secret away from us. So this time we're not going to go for the open strat. We'll stack over towards A, shut down their play there, but then the audible on the side of Boston, just commit on the bomb plant, get it down, get some info as well once it gets planted, and then just everyone out of position for Cloud9, not really ready to contest it. And then when Purge finds a kill on the pinch, you're put to focus on that side. You're simply going to get outnumbered over on the opposite side of the bomb once that trade comes in. And Boston just playing their numbers perfect in these rounds.
Not an easy thing to do at this level. So yeah, Boston looking pretty clean indeed. And Krem, having cleared out everything now on the low side of the map, he's going to be sending it forward. He's going to run into a little bit of trouble soon, but if he times this right, it could be fantastic for him. RC in play. Here we go. Krem lets him know he's behind, but he does get the kill. Attach, what a win on the site. That's fantastic work now. C9 with the advantage. And the bomb recovered.
And now they're going to be committed again with the numbers advantage over towards this rock setup, but no one is currently watching the pinch. So Cammy and Snoopy can work their way through Lambo, take some space away without being known.
Uh-oh, and that's Jackal range, boys and girls. Nade up over the top for Snoopy. It's now a 2v2. Numbers coming towards the side. It hit the damage, and now Snoop's in. Past the rock threshold. Whoa, it's a 1v1. Less than 30 seconds on the clock. Snoopy v Krem.
Just got to check it at the right time. Krem throws his shoulders. 7.5 going. Got to look again.
Ah, that's it. Through the doorway. The prone classic. Snoopy kicking himself for that. Krem, though, you stay alive. Jay, the approach towards the bomb site from Boston was so impressive.
Yeah, because they caught the timing. They took space that was given to them, and then once they found that first kill, made it 2v2. I thought once Snoopy puts himself in a position over towards Rock, it's all about him trying to finesse. But when Cammy falls, that's what allows Krem to play that kill or his teammate to try to play for the trade. And then in a one-on-one, it's all about throwing in an extra shoulder. Okay, he's not on bomb. Let me continue to stall out the time and hope to God that he runs right in front of me. And that works out there for Krem, who was the deciding factor. He starts off the round by sneaking on through, strikes at the first blood, and he's a closer as well.
100% sure how the RCXD died, but on the way towards that B-bomb site up the stairs, maybe. We'll find out in another life. But for this life, it's Snoopy so close to the A-bomb. Use of nades there, both sides, to clear out Secret, clear out Top Dark, and now you've got an opportunity to maybe get this down. Oh, Attach spotted out. Here comes the rest of the calls. Krem should get it first. There it is. A man advantage right now with C9 and no bomb planted for Boston.
Yeah, now you're relying on Purge who can get something done on the repinch. He's going to shoot from their side, top open window. Find the first, can't find the second onto Krem. And now with bomb being down, gunfight's already going down towards our defenses. Cammy's got 25 HP.
It's a 1v2 for Cam, and he's holding it together. Mac down the flank. Snaps were on, but Mac, great play. Pinch on pinch. And C9, more signs of life. The heartbeat monitor is bumping right now in Hacienda.
Yeah, they're starting to come alive here. Krem, another big first blood. At least takes away the space towards Top Secret. At that point, Boston have shown a lot of different looks. First 2 times through the top hallway, second over towards B, and then that last was over towards A. But when they commit on that bomb plant without having seeking control, your life's going to be very difficult because the entire time you're probably expecting Purged in a position who's watching a pinch, but he was forced to back down because they were able to spot him and try to make an individual play. So the shots go down from fence, you peek from top secret, you find that first blood, and then you just trade it out after that. Cloud9 starting to come alive.
Whoa, trades, teamwork, love it. Here we go. Oh my word, the stun, the damage. Jay, what an opener this is. Max looking for one more here. He knows there's a player there. The red dots give it all away. An awakening, wrong gun for the job, brother. It's all in a cami. What a round.
And the bomb goes down. So now Cammy, talked about how clutch he is so far on the season. Puts down shots up to attach, and he's committing a little too hard, but the crossfire good enough for Cloud9. After the early round chaos through top secret, they walk away with the trades. And 3 very quick rounds allows Cloud9 to tie this game up.
Cam was snapping here in this 1v1, or 1v2 rather, but he didn't have the intel on Mac. He had the full damage in on the play out by fences, but Mac was the variable that cost him. He started watching his back and everything. A wicked round though out of C9. That is 3. You're not wrong, brother. Super fast rounds to get us here. All tied up at 4-4. Boston have been stunned.
And I don't know what it is with Boston on this map, but last week they were up 5-1 versus LAG. They let LAG win 5 rounds in a row to lose 6-5. You were up 4-1 in this search and destroy, and now you're getting up round after round by just playing with the same exact pace. Eventually, let's just slow it down, allow them to run into us, but the aggression has been the key to success. They're doing it again over towards A side, but again, no top secret control. They're afraid to work that objective.
And they know you might be able to see the dust, you might be able to hear something. You definitely know something's happening now, boys. Snoopy trying to clear it out. The timing on the frag not necessarily good enough. It's going to push those players away, but you still haven't put that bomb down.
It's all about if Attach can spot the cross when Snoopy decides to commit to it. And now with Purge edging up, thinking that the play is going to come over towards this A site, but the bomb is actually going to rotate over towards top middle. And now if you're Cloud9, you're head on heels. You don't know what's going on. First blood to Awakening.
Yeah, that's a big kill. Max completely caught unaware, screams out for the intel. Purge loses the fight down low, so secret is still not an option. Oh, Civ finding another 3v2. Not a lot of time to get this done. Are you going to commit to the B-bomb site check, or are you going to plant this for A? Yeah, you can. Here's the check, but it's the wrong bomb site. It looks like we might be going towards B. No, we've got a man over there, so the bomb planted. What a doozy. C9 with numbers here on the retake.
Oh, and Cammy might make a big time play here. Catches the timing for the one-on-one. A big one-on-one gunfight in front of him, but it's 2v2. Stall out time.
Over to the bomb site now, and Snoopy's got to get it done by himself. Cammy on the big wrap. Snoopy's done it. All comes down to Kremp. This is for Map Point. Catches the kill out, and there's time. But is there time for Cammy? All the time in the world. He's going to check this when he wants to. And that is Map Point. Boston Breach. What a brilliant round.
So icy, man. That is way too icy there for Boston. When those kills shot their goal down, they strike for the first blood. But then those trades and the angle from Civ to find the player through bottom secret was perfect to give them the numbers advantage. But then when you allow them to plant the bomb, you have to be able to at least gain some info off of it. You spot one player crossing over towards the backside of Shaq, but no info onto Cammy. The long route works out because he wins the one-on-one, gains the info on the second player, and just stalls out the game clock. So they were forcing to look for him, and he just didn't give them anything to work with. Clutch round right there out of Boston to put them at game point.
The Cam man. Let's see if we can get this game rolling. They have got stun connect there on a Kremp. He's going to make his way not down low this time, but upstairs. Saw an open door by office there by the plat. That could be an issue, but again, we'll wait. The bomb gets dropped out, so Attach unable to get the plant. This is a big moment now. The 2-2 split here for Boston on both bomb sites and the wrap.
Yeah, I love the aggressive push to B. Like, you know the play's going to be at A, so let's just try to trap them on the opposite side of the map. You have the numbers advantage. Bomb is going to go down, and they are going to be suffocated in this play.
Hey, you're not reading this. There's no way, surely. Mac might have eyes on, but he's never going to be able to take both those players who've already crossed through. Ah, that's a problem. Purge on the pinch. It's a classic, and that's it. Jump straight on the bomb for the defuse. Kremp might in position, maybe, to get eyes on this, but he's running out of time. Go, go, go. No, it's been defused. C9. Their pockets picked by Boston Breach. A 2-0 lead in the series.
That is massive, man. That is huge from Boston. We know that the Des has been talking about how they need it to improve in their search and destroys, and especially theirs controls. But when you're having such hot starts to these games, eventually those late round adjustments start to come in. They come in a little bit too late sometimes, but eventually when they do, they start to hurt. It all starts with the 2v3 clutch in the round previously, but then in that final round, Just Cammy finding the opening kill onto attach. Just a little bit too aggressive on the outer side of fence. And then you know that Kremp is trying to make an individual play. He has 10 non-traded kills. So all of them are one-on-one gunfights. But he just couldn't find an opening on that pinch. And Boston getting active on the pinch through B just didn't give Cloud9 any opportunities once that objective went down. Boston have improved so much, man. I love this roster. I love the fact that they never made a roster change because their teamwork continues to shine through. And now you're up 2-0 in a series in a very important matchup versus Cloud9. These bubble games don't get more important than this.
This one's about to burst, ladies and gentlemen. We're going into control, and we are up big. If we're Boston friends, how we feeling, Desk? Honestly, gotta be feeling great.
Pummel Purge.
It was Pummel Purge.
Would you call him the Big Pee-Pee?
Sure, we'll go with
Pummel
that.
Purge, getting it done. Boston up 2-0. Let's take a look at how they get there, Rosalie. Walk me through the big rounds of S&D, because you go up 4-1.
Oh, it was round 9.
But then you make me a little nervous here. I think Boston's coming, I think Cloud9's coming back for
We were sweating for a minute there. I don't know, maybe just the way Cloud9 started taking some rounds kind of caught Boston off guard, because we get into this awkward situation in round number 9, and honestly, it was up to Snoopy and Cammy. They kind of saved Boston in this situation. The way that they played that 2v3, and the fact that Cloud9 made a huge mistake of just leaving Secret completely open and giving the angle basically to Boston for free if they need the Chow Bomb. And then big ups on Cammy. He's also the one that finds the first blood in that following round to avoid around 11. So Boston made some clutch plays from the players, but still some mistakes that need some VOD review.
And I saw a note in the chat. Can we start a petition to make the Boston helmet greener?
Oh,
I support it. Support the move.
I support it. Boy, they have some fresh gear in game, I gotta say. I think they got the best camo, best outfit. But yeah, you know, the search and destroy, Boston, you know, Jay was talking about the comeback that Genomates had against them. Not allowing that to happen here in this one. They slowed it down a little bit. Ali, you talked about that round 9. It got real murky. They ended up getting a first blood, and then they lost 2 players, and they're like, okay, we're just gonna commit to A. It was the biggest round of the game for sure. Get it down. Cammy just makes a heads-up play, gets in their base, and finds a kill. So Boston, you know, in the clutch moments, really turning up in that hardpoint, Chris, masterclass.
1550 damage from Kremp for the L. Let's take a look back, though, at game number 1. This is where Purge was like, yo, hey, I'm gonna make you look real smart, buddy.
Yeah, they were unreal. So, I mean, in this map, it was 90-70. It was like it was real close in the very beginning. Cloud9 are able to rally back. But it's really that second rotation where Boston just took flight. I mean, it was P1 into P2, locked it down, and then continuous breaks from there. Boston Hardpoint has gotten so much better. It was already solid, but they keep on improving in that game mode, and now you're seeing the pop-off ability some of the players have, like Purge.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me in this map is for Boston to maybe being able to add Skyline to their hardpoint map pool now, because they have 2 lockups in Vault and Hacienda, but that makes Vito's kind of weird. So if they're able to add Skyline now, then they obviously are going to be able to toe-to-toe a little bit closer to the top side of the league.
They've been playing a lot.
51-36. That is a thrashing. Boston making a statement in our first game of the series. They're up 2-0. They're on match point. I thought this would go 5. Cloud9, they were in a similar position. We all rooted against them, thought they were out. They rallied back in a reverse sweep.
Yeah, and we need to put perspective on this. Like, Cloud9, this is still a must-win game for them. 1, for winners bracket hopes coming into this next major, and for points. You cannot allow Boston to get these points from this match. If you're Cloud9, they're just coming off a reverse sweep. So we know that they're capable. They have to start here. And it's a tall task on Hasi, a map that Boston has been improving on.
More video games in a moment, but first, it's a game show featuring Chris Puckett, your host. It's called This or That. I got 2 options, Ali. Breach at 25 champs or Cloud9 at 25 champs.
25 champs. I gotta go Breach. After that performance, we gotta go for the Snoopy for sure.
They have a 25-point lead. It makes sense. Currently in 6th place. And
yeah, I don't think Cloud9 are making it to champs. I think they're on the outside looking in. I'm going with Breach in this one, 100%.
Yikes. Let's take a look at the next This or That. Warzone or Zombies, Ali?
Zombies for sure. I grew up playing Zombies on Survival on Town, and I would do that for hours with my friends. Too much nostalgia. I would do it all over again.
Verdansk Warzone? I'm going Warzone.
Yeah, the current Warzone is a vibe right now.
Urzikstan? Then I'm going Zombies for sure, okay?
All right, good answers across the board. This or That continues with question 3, Nuketown or Rust?
Oh, that's hard.
Oh, what you going with?
Nuke.
Why do I have to go first? Why don't you go first
Have
this
you
time?
played Rust?
Yes. What
Dude,
are you
it's been
talking
remade
about?
3 times. No.
Chris, what about you?
I've got Nuketown here.
Really?
I'm going
Whoa,
Nuketown.
whoa. Where are you going to get more
I'm going
feeds?
Rust.
You're going to get more feeds if you play Nuketown. If you like snipers, play Nuketown. If you like to just waste your time like Nade Shot did in 1v1 against tanks, go to Rust. One in the chamber, sticks and stones. One in the chamber?
One in the chamber.
One in the chamber. This is a classic,
Beggar.
bro.
They both suck.
All right, that just means you suck.
Prop Hunt still is the champion of all side games. Propane tanks or cars. Things that go boom.
I like the propane tanks. I think I gotta
I go
with propane.
either. I'll go cars.
Cars.
Yeah, absolutely.
More predictable.
Nothing better than getting blown up by a vehicle.
exploding propane tank. We don't miss you. Thank you guys for watching our halftime show. It's now time for your casters in a game number 3. Miles.
Wait, yo, guys. Rust, Rust or Nuketown?
Rust.
Yes,
Rust.
That's the answer. Thanks, guys.
You guys
Appreciate it.
suck.
That's the answer.
Yeah.
Your game.
Negative. Negative.
So young. It's crazy that Chris said Nuketown too. It's like I can understand Allie. She probably wasn't born when Russ was like in its prime, but
Dude,
the opposite side, like Russ was it.
Dude, Wheeler hit straight with like, have you even played it? Straight up. Jay, who's Craze? Tell me all about
Ooh.
Craze.
This is my boy, man. This is my Call of Duty son. I've been teaching him COD since he was 13, but finally, he has been just a man on a mission. We're talking about throughout this entire elite, all throughout challengers, every single one, he has won. But the most recent, he was the MVP, and that's with all of his teammates getting called up to the big leagues. He has just improved his game so much. He's always been a phenomenal respawn player, but for me, every time I text him, I'm like, dude, you have to improve in search and destroy. I'm sick and tired of you going out there and dying for those first bloods, but that's just what he's been able to do, man. Evolve as a player. And now, realistically, in my opinion, he's the #1 prospect in that challenger scene to get that next call up.
Let's face it, there's some teams on the bubble that could be doing with a new player, so I wouldn't be too surprised if there's some question marks out there right now. The Codosphere is a hot place, and Roster Mania, it can strike at nearly any time. Here we go, back into Hacienda, part 2 of our potential trilogy. But we need to see C9 pull out the goods here. Jay on Control.
Yeah.
And can that happen?
It could. It definitely can, because they have a lot of reps on Hacienda. It's just the only thing is that Boston, on the other hand, have been improving drastically in Control, specifically on Hacienda. They are 5-0 on the defensive side. They are outslaying teams by more than 7 kills. So they have realized, okay, we need to start valuing our life more. We need to start being more of a nuisance, like just stalling out time as much as we possibly can. And on the opposite side for Cloud9, you have Boston, who outslay on their defense by 7. They're actually getting outslayed by more on their defensive side than their offenses. So you need to start slaying if you're C9.
Let's get some kills. C9. Well, you got one at least. That's good enough for now. Bad news. You've lost another teammate on the approach towards B here. Well, defensively, they've got a man on the back line. And Snoopy just flying through the air. Cutting him down. Good work out of Mac there right off of spawn. But pressure now certainly on Breach. Into spawn they go, and Purges and Gills.
Yeah, they already pushed their way off the respawn through rock. No one was going to contest them, so you had a freebie off the respawn onto attach. And now you have worked your way all the way through their base to put the game clock at a pause at B. And your teammates are finding kills around the map. A big one-on-one attach off the respawn. Slows it down onto Awakening. But this is at least 2 guaranteed segments here.
This is huge. It was looking even better, but Krem manages to get a kill. Okay, and then you pull a player forward. What was looking like a guaranteed 2 is 1 and a bit. So over to A we go now to try to pick up the pieces.
And Cammy's just going to be aggressive with the SMG.
Hello.
He knows that. Let's just try to get B out of the way first, but if he finds that double, that forces the rest of Cloud9 to turn around and start to commit on those gunfights. But now you can just get pushed up in their spawn. 35 seconds to go. Boston only have 1 segment. This is basically the last push over towards B.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, you got great presence now from C9 pushing up towards lobby. They've got players to spawn. Max still finding kills. He's having himself a nice round so far. 4-1 there from Sid. Now Cam shots into nearly everyone, but it's 3 dead either way. 20 seconds to go. Snoop the last man up here with any sort of viable real estate for Boston. Breach, and damn, Sonny gets a big one. Onto B we go.
Yeah, that's a big one-on-one gunfight, because if Snoopy gets taken care of, then this player on the pinch and Mac has a more impactful play that will be felt, but he's giving his team another opportunity. Second segment almost going to be locked, and Purge flies it for a double, make it a triple, all 4 dead. Time should be extended. Boston have came back to life.
What a spree it was, man. All right, 1:15 to go. 14 lives for Breach. And a huge opportunity for a counterattack here from C9, but Snoopy gets 2! That's unbelievable. Looking for a few more. Eyes on 1 player going to spawn, at the very least, the guy behind him, and he's dead too. Snoopy, unreal.
And Purge is now in a position to play for the spawners. That's 3 dead. Last player to account for is going to be Mac. He's on the complete opposite side of the map. But Purge, how long can you keep them in their spawn? Stun does not matter. I'm still going to get you weak. Almost lines up a double, but that segment should be locked, at least for the first.
It's fine. First one gone. Second one on its way out. Snoopy trying to buy some space. He's kept the receipt. It has been purchased, folks. He's looking for a few more now. Timing's a little bit off on this play, but A-Zone still being captured this whole time. Cammy and Awakening finding their kills this whole time. The Snoopy runabout hasn't amounted to too much. He gets killed finally, but the whole time you've been capturing the point. No lives remaining now for C9. Oh, dear. It's not over yet, folks. 50 seconds still in play and only 2 lives to go. C9, good luck there on the round. Breach, what a banger.
And that all does not happen if Snoopy doesn't get that kill onto attach. That double falls into an individual player making a big time play to give his team an opportunity. And it works out to perfection. Snoopy was the guy that starts it off. He starts playing Ratty in the corner. Same thing could be said for Purge on the other side. They just were able to flip that switch at an instant, extend that time, keep the map control that they had, and really didn't give Cloud9 any breathing room off of the respawn. That is beautifully played there from Boston to spring that round around, turn that round around, and secure that opening offense.
I love the way Purge plays, man. It's like he gets 1 kill in a lane. He's like, I'm going into this spawn. He flies all the way to the very end. He's like, I'm in position. And you have to fight you out of a very, very tough spot. I'm looking forward to watching another Boston Breach attacking round after what we saw there. But C9, it's your go. Here we have it. Good opener in the kills. A lot of presence here for Mac. Doesn't account for the extra man there on the inside of Tin. And Snoopy finds 2. 3 dead. C9.
Yeah, initial push gets instantly shut down. So now, Civ, how long can you hold this map control for your team? Unfortunately, he's going to get spotted out. Now everyone trying to work out of their spawn. Thankfully, Mac's able to find the opening kill, but the flanks too strong there from Mr. Purge. Someone said to call him Purge the Princess. I don't really like that one. How about Purge the Dominator? He is frying.
Demon King Purge. Wicked stuff.
Come here.
No, it's just everything he does. He's going to turn perfectly in a second and read the guy behind him and kill him. I tell you, Jay, it's just disgusting. Over towards the zone we go. B zone, perfect defense. Look at this read. And the gunny. Can he do anything wrong?
It's just way too easy for him right now. His teammates are holding down the opposite side of the map. He's influencing the spawns a certain way. And all he's doing is winning clutch one-on-one after one-on-one to never give them a stable push. But again, now on 5 in a row, the pitch is going to be felt. Lines up the first, lines up the second. He's doing it all. Like, he's missed the respawn today.
But he is doing it all. Like, I mean, for the folks at home who are wondering why we are glazing so, it is not just because, we look at it, folks, 17 and 6, 19 and 6, a 9 spree and another round. Purge, quite literally, checking every possible corner. I would love to know what he's saying right now. Maybe we'll find out on a nice social media post by the league later on this week.
It's just like, I don't know what these guys are doing. Like, nobody's shooting me. I only got hit like once or twice that round. Like, everything is just super easy right now. Continue to play the way that you are, guys.
How much damage has he received? Not a lot. 19 and 6. My man is frying.
Hey, he shot me a DM this morning, too. He said, Unc, wait, you're casting our match? Don't worry, I'm going to put on a show for you, especially in the control. And so far, he is living up to that expectation. Up 2-0 in the series, up 2-0 in the control, looking for a clean 3-0. And if you can't get a trade, you're not going to stop him.
I love that all these young legends on the come up, through these guys having these big turns in the career, they all talk to you, Jay. I love that.
Hey, Uncle Stud knows what's going on. You know, it's like I've been around the block a couple times.
Uncle Stud. I mean, Purge. Whether it's the knife, whether it's the fadeaways, you name it, it's all happening. Don't forget Hellstorm. Whether we have to actually deal with it, we'll find out. But this man, you are sugarcoating me, man. Unbelievable. What a life that was. 22 and 7. I'm sure we'll get his POV in a second because you know he's getting kills.
Yeah, just let him come back off the respawn. Right back into the Purge show. Unfortunately, the timing not good enough versus Sib in that one-on-one. And now Cloud9 have a little bit of time to breathe. They get all the kills in the feed. They have a lot of map control as well to go with it. Okay, just keep them trapped in your spawn for a very long time, and coverage will continue after this series.
I mean, the series, it feels like it's over, but it's not over yet. C9 on the defense. And they've managed to keep Boston back as much as possible. Cammy managed to sneak on through. Here comes Purge and Snoop towards the zone potentially as well. Players in position to contest this. Over the back line we go. Civ gets one on the trade. The capture still continues. There's Karen McGilligan. He and his trusty old trophy system, they're getting the job done.
Yeah, and if you're Cammy, how much time can you stall out? Because you know all of Cloud9 want to get you off of this B point, but just drawing that attention allows your teammates to get out of the spawn uncontested.
Damn.
Final 25 seconds. It doesn't matter what the game clock looks like because Boston usually are able to clutch up in that moment, but the kills go in favor of Cloud9. It's all on Cammy instead of Snoopy this time around.
This is it. C9, you've done such a good job in this round. Keep yourself alive here. Uh-oh, awakening a Cam there on time, finding big ones. Sib on the counter attack. Lovely work there with the Jackal. Can't get the third. Oh, sweeping in from Mac. Finds one, but the trade's complete and the capture continues. Second segment done at B. Here comes Attach to save it.
He needs the one-on-one. He hasn't been able to find one of these clutch one-on-ones initially to start off that B point. But thankfully, your teammate is there to trade. Defense is secured on the side of Boston, but they are looking for the clean 3-0. The stack is going to be in. You're down by 1 life, and now you got an extra minute to make it happen.
Hold on to your butts. 9 live C9. 1 minute of play. Boston are somehow orchestrating this. Tremendous map presence for them now. Not a single lane available for them to get in towards this objective. The 2-man hit now towards Rock turns into a 1-man hit, but it works out. Now space to play with. Here comes Purge on the pinch.
Oh, Purge was a big one-on-one. So now Sib can take that space away. Try to keep those players in the spawn, but Cammy on the other end catches the players off the respawn. Only 5 lives remaining for C9, and Cammy's not going to give up in this position.
Cammy is holding them down. You could call them new streaks as well. Purge has got that Hellstorm still awakening now. Eyes on 1, 2, Demon Joe! He cuts down the numbers, but the clock is ticking. We're going for the kills. It is a TDM, unless someone can get on towards time, and they can. 1 man left. Attach. The hopes and dreams of C9 in this series are on that man right now.
Oh, he is going to fall.
Brother, what a run. Boston Breach came to play today, and they have torn C9 into pieces. The weather forecast is clear skies indeed, not a cloud in sight.
That's so tough, man, if you're C9, because last week you ended off on a high note. You were able to complete the reverse sweep versus Minnesota. You potentially were able to build some momentum off of that match. But then you just run into a very hot Boston Breach. They come out, slam you in map number 1, make the adjustments in the search and destroy, and just their improvements in control, specifically on Hacienda. They hate protocol. They don't want to play that. But you might not want to play these guys on Hasi, which is how much finesse they have added to their gameplay. And then also Purge, casually, another 20 non-traded game, 26 and 14, almost 3K damage. He was just doing it all initially, and then Boston always had that clutch factor in the final 10 seconds of every round to make something out of nothing. Clean 3-0, they get the 10 CDL points.
Absolutely rancid work. The bubble has burst, and it is trouble now for C9. We didn't even get anywhere close to that Hacienda Hardpoint, quite frankly, folks. A unreal series. 3-0 GG's.